Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Delta Green tabletop role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, military organizations, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living, dead, or redacted, is completely coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I am your handler this evening, Michael Diamond, and we are back with Ocel and an adventure that is titled From the Dust, an operation in and around the area of Red Hook, and it seems areas beyond Red Hook. More on that later. So we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter, for joining us. Thank you so much. Check us out on patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. Jump over to YouTube, subscribe to us there. Check out some of our agents here in the live videos. Yes, they exist. They're actual humans, and they've been in public even. And so now, some introductions to my right.
Hi, this is Miranda, and I play Dr. Aaron Weber. And I don't think I have ever been happier to have seen Elliot Winters.
No, it's probably true. It's probably valid. To Dr. Weber's right.
Well, I am your friend Nate, and I play Special Agent Elliot Winters. And I've never been so happy to be tied up with friendship ropes to two of my colleagues, and we are off in search of the third.
Indeed you are. At the end of the table.
Hi, this is Allie, and I play Special Agent Joanne Hart. And I heard my mom, I found my friends, and now we're going to the bottom of the well.
Yeah, it's like a kids on bikes game. Then last but most certainly not least.
Hi, my name is Tegan, and I'm playing Brett Youngbutt Hawking. And I'm in a hole, and I've been told that they know what to do with me.
Indeed, that's what you were told. Now let's see if it actually happens. So we're going to raise the curtain tonight in some place dark, dank, and moist. For you, Agent Hawking, the feeling, this sort of feeling of being controlled by someone else or being maybe not in complete control of all of your faculties is a feeling sort of at the edges, right? The sharp sort of perceptions that you have of the space that you're in now or you've been led to is a little shocking. It's dirty here. It's dirty in a different way, though. It's not just the ground. It's not just the moss or the mud. It's not the water, some standing water that's here. It's all the bones that have been left. Large bones, small bones, skulls, femurs, all the different finger bones that you could see. And there's a thick, almost carpeted layer of it here in your space. And you begin to come out of this strange mental space, one which was filled with fairly simplistic guidelines. Follow this strange furry creature as it led you to this space. It walked through an arrow point of sorts, some strange arrow-pointed hallway. Led you down into a deep subterranean area, a cave, which is even larger than the space that you were in. And you kept crunching all along the way of bones, one after another, then after another. Eventually, you sort of got left to your own devices. You don't know where this creature went. You don't know how you got here, but it's where you are now. And you can't really see much around the space. There's no external light here, but the cave system above your head seems to have some phosphorescent moss, which does give an eerie glow, a carpeted glow over your head. It's almost like an old movie theater.
How is there moss here if there's no light? I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab a femur.
Oh, easily.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. That's a club. That's good. How tall is the ceiling above me?
Probably 12 meters, roughly 40 feet.
Oh, okay, so I can touch it. Okay.
The space here is maybe 30 by 60 meters. It's vast.
So I've come to kind of, not consciousness, but I've come to my willpower again in this space.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And it's just carpeted with bones. Okay, and I've got a femur. And they mostly human bones with my flashlight on me?
You do have your flashlight on you. It gives you a little bit more sort of a tinged yellowed glow here of the pieces. Those bones are... Well, the femur that you have in your hand is a little small.
Oh, gross.
So are the fingers here now, too.
Fingers? Finger bones?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, not like there's fingers on me. Okay.
No fingers on you other than yours.
So are these mostly small bones?
Mostly. Most of them are also smashed open. Like the femur that you grab is not a full femur. It's been cracked in half. And even the marrow has been sucked right out of it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, don't like that at all. That's a bad thing. I'm in the bad place. Okay, while looking for a larger, more whole femur, better for smashing. Okay, am I in a cavern or am I still in the tunnel formation?
You're definitely in a cavern. The space is much larger than the space that you were in.
So there's multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do I remember which one I came in through?
No.
That's not good. We are not having a good time. Okay. Hello?
Your voice echoes out and around the walls. These cave walls really bounce it back to you eventually. The ceiling is too high to directly project it back to you. There's no echo from that.
I still have my gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to check my gun. I'm just going to pop the magazine out partially, make sure there's still bullets in it, and then put it back in. Put it back in.
Mm-hmm. You definitely still have bullets.
Flashlight. Have a baby femur, and I've got a gun of bullets. And there's nothing moving. There's nothing moving around. If I open up my senses, am I smelling anything different here?
You definitely regret doing that. Oh, it's really rank down here. There isn't the presence so much of flies, but there is definitely something down here that smells like it's rotting.
All right, I'm going to start backing towards the wall of the cavern with the goal of slinking into the shadows so that I can observe if anything else comes into this cavern space.
Okay, you begin moving. The floor gets a little uneven as you move back, and you turn just in time before you fall down a slope. There's a dip in this space here that you didn't see before, and your flashlight casts this light upon a pool. Pool in the rudimentary sense, right? There's no filter, there's no slide or staircase to get in and have a good bit of fun in the summer. This is definitely depression here in the earth, that there is some amount of liquid in.
Boom. Brett's thinking to himself, do I get into the water in an attempt to submerge myself and appear less visible with what's in the water? Or do I continue to try to slink around the edge of this pool and still find a crevasse to hide myself in? Why was I brought here? For what purpose? Even if I do hide, will they just know that this is where I am? Okay, I'm going to take a skull and throw it in the water, far out in the water.
You throw it far out in the water. Now, the pool's not enormous by any means. There is a good amount of it. You can't really see anything more than the edge, but you throw that skull into the water. As you do, I'm going to have you roll sand for me.
Oh, good. Like rolling sanity. Okay, this is a very successful sanity roll. I have rolled a 29.
Okay. You take no loss of sanity from violence, as the skull you placed your hand on and through was probably the skull of a 12-year-old child. As it hits the water, you hear something echo back to you.
Yeah.
The room beats with a slow and steady pace.
Daddy no likey. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go with that slinking into the corners, but not into the pool plan. That's my plan.
Okay.
Low and slow, that is the tempo.
What's your alertness?
Alertness? Or is this a lurk check?
No, this is alertness.
My base alertness is half, 50%.
Okay. So I'll give you an alertness roll.
Oh, you give me the check or you want me to roll?
I want you to roll for it. If it was 60, I'd give it to you.
25.
Nice. So you move to one side of this cavern, staying clear of the pool, trying to get your bearings. And you see that on the other side of that pool, there is what looks like some sort of piece of furniture. It's a structure of some sort. It's a large chair.
A bone throne?
You're not sure, but there's definitely also something to the side of it here or nearby it that's also a larger structure. And if you didn't know it any better, you'd say it was some sort of church organ.
Oh, like an organ made of bone?
You're not sure if it's made of bone or not. You're not really close enough to determine that.
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna go investigate the organ, continuing to go slow and stay low. I would like to inspect this organ.
You slowly crunch your way through these bones. There are enough of them to hit you probably mid-shin.
That's gross. I don't like this at all.
You get close.
To the organ?
Mm-hmm. It's sagging. It's a little rotten. It's wood for sure, or at least it was at one point. There is a set of keys, just like any other pipe organ would have. There's an enormous array of pipes that come out of the back of it. Some are disjointed, some of them are just likely not workable.
Any of these pipes loose? I'm always willing to trade a femur up for a pipe organ pipe. That seems like a fair trade. I'm gonna like touch them. I'm not gonna like punch them. I'm just gonna see if like I apply 5 pounds of force with my fingertip if they wibble and wobble.
They seem fairly sturdy actually when you press against them. They don't seem to move very much.
I don't think I'm supposed to play chopsticks on this thing. I don't want to touch the keys. I mean, I do know music though.
You do.
I do. I have a 20% in surf rock. I never thought I'd get to use it. I could play some Scooby-Doo chase music on this thing. So it's an old, dilapidated pipe organ, and next to a bone throne.
No, not a bone throne. So now that you're closer to the throne, it's not made of bone at all.
Oh, thank God.
It's crafted of some sort of metal. And every time you get your light nearby, that metal glows with really an amber and golden light.
Like it's made of brass?
You're not really sure. You'd have to get a little closer to inspect it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna slowly get closer to inspect it. Seems like the right choice. I approve of my own choices.
Okay, you get closer to inspect it. I will leave you there momentarily. Agents who were at the last episode all friendship roped together. You're continuing through this passageway. As you do so, you watch the tunnel expand in size. It goes from being little more than a Warren tunnel width and height to something much larger. The ceilings extend to 30, maybe 40 feet in some spaces. And the width of the tunnel gets much, much wider.
Do you think we're gonna find Hawking anytime? Should I yell out for more?
No. Keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. More likely to draw some of these creepies towards us than Brett. Let's just keep going. There's only one way to go, so let's just keep going.
It's funny you mentioned that, Agent Winters, is there's only one way to go. Was this space opens up and your flashlights cut through more of this darkness collectively, you realize that as it widens, you're seeing more tunnels connected to here.
All right, well, damn. There was only one way to go.
Well, there still is left.
Is this still in the bottom? Is it still the same brick, or has it changed in what the tunnels are made out of?
No, you've gone back to it being made of rock and mud and dirt. It looks like an underground tunnel. It looks like it's been excavated out, or it's in some of these portions, maybe it's just natural.
As Winters has been marking kind of the way that we've been going, are there any man-made or not man-made even markings on any of these tunnels as we kind of like, I imagine we survey each tunnel as it splits to see which way we should or could go?
Yeah. You probably take a little bit of a look. Looking here towards this left opening is where you see an awful lot of additional moss. There's also a fair amount of scraping that's been done here at this threshold. Because you look at this tunnel as it sort of comes into view, you can tell that there's been a lot of movement back and forth here.
Recent scraping? Recent movement?
Yeah, recent.
Winter's Heart, there's been a lot of movement down this way in particular. Maybe that's our best bet of finding something or someone, or Hawk, maybe he went this way.
That makes sense to me. There's no need to make it all complicated.
There's a big dip here, agents. The tunnel level dips down probably a good 6 feet, and it's at quite a grade. It's not something that the three of you couldn't collectively get past, but it doesn't look right. It looks intentional. This isn't some change in the floor depth just because the cavern goes like this. This is intentional. The scraping makes it look intentional.
That's probably where we're supposed to go, huh?
Looks the most suspicious to me. I don't know about supposed to, but man, you think they dug this out? You think these raccoons dug this out? With their little claw hands? Something else helped them.
Well, it does kind of dig down like a burrow of some sort, or, I mean, I've never seen, if you've seen like animals like burrow into, they're usually pretty steep and, maybe.
Yeah, but this is that stone. I mean, they burrowing through straight stone. This is Hart. When you woke up, was it stone like this, or were you in the brick, like the more man-made stuff? Did you recall, or did you maybe not recall? It was sort of a weird situation.
Well, when I was here the first time, it was, at what looked like the beginning of one of these tunnels. So it was, just like kind of loose, cold ground that like had been, kind of excavated out. It wasn't anything like this. Let's put it that way.
All right, well, let's get down there. Be careful. Let's go on and get.
You have to be purposeful in doing it. The three of you can get down there. It's definitely made for taller people. The tunnel beyond that leads to another one of these large spaces. It's really in this larger space that you begin to pick up the telltale signs of bone fragments on the ground. It's small at first, they're here or there. But they're definitely bones. Could be leg bones. It could be chicken bones. It could be a lot of things. Depends on how close attention you're going to pay to it.
Doc, do these look fresh to you? These bones look new?
Okay, well, like I said, physics, not biology, but I pick up a bone to examine it to see how old or new it looks. I'd probably look for coloration, how clean it is, how maybe dry if it is.
It is dry, and it's definitely clean
Dove meat.
of anything. You can tell that the end of it has been snapped off.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that there's no marrow inside, Doctor.
Yum. Coloration-wise?
I'm not sure what kind of coloration you're looking for, so I want to explain this correctly.
I'm trying to decide it. I don't know. It just does it look like aged, weathered? Is it like a yellowed brown gross bone? Is it a fresh white, bright white, yummy, tasty, sucked clean bone?
Definitely more the latter than the former. It's definitely brighter than, say, a yellowed bone that's been sitting out somewhere in the garbage for, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, or that you might happen upon on an archaeological dig. It ain't like that. It's maybe a little juicy from being on the ground.
Nope. It's not super old. It's and it's empty. Something sucked it clean, empty out. Like a Capri Sun of bone marrow. Like it they popped the top and they sucked it dry.
Are there any teeth marks on it? Does it look like it was gnawed on by an animal?
There are teeth marks on it.
Yep, it does. There are teeth marks. But that could be those little raccoons, because they get in the trash and you threw out your Thanksgiving turkey and you got raccoons in the trash and they just eat it up.
Yeah, I ain't worried about no turkey and no turkey bones. Let's keep an eye out for different kind of bones that might have been gnawed on. If you catch my meaning, Weber.
Sure.
You catch my meaning, Weber? Let's make sure that we aren't running across no kids' bones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's keep going into this terrible place.
You continue. The space again widens back out. The bones and the number of them begin to pick up. You begin to see a gradient in that bones begin to add up, an innumerable amount of bones. These here are much more yellow. They're dry. They're old. But they're no less clean of anything that might have been on them at one point. And to your right, somewhere down one of these passages, agents hear what sounds like the calm whimper of a child.
All right, I just heard what I thought was a kid.
Did you hear which way it was coming from?
I think over yonder.
Then I imagine a comedy of us being tied together and all moving in that same direction with probably some level of haste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You hasten that way. You bend around a corner, and as this tunnel turns, you hear more skittering and then the sharp increase of a child crying. Like, not crying because they are hungry, not crying because they want to be picked up. Something that you have heard countless times before in years past from Holly. What you are hearing is a child that is scared, that is frightened, and it pushes your adrenaline and blood pressure through the roof.
All right. Remember, they can mimic, they can imitate, but I'm gonna, as fast as possible, I'm gonna pick up Thomas to run towards that, and I'm gonna get my gun out as well.
Okay. You pull your gun out as you round that corner, and there are multiple sets of red eyes in probably a space about 20 or so feet down from you, and they are surrounding a small child, one that has been bound by rope. And you watch these things start dancing around. And the only thing that you can come to mentally, Winters, is that they're playing with their food.
Well, hell no. I holster that gun and I take the shotgun off the back and I start with a club. I dive in there and I start swinging this shotgun like a club broom. Fuck these raccoons up. Hell no.
Let's do it to it, shall we, agents? So I count down by dex for all the characters, highest to lowest. So which one of the agents has highest dex?
Which I can't imagine 50 is the highest, but I have 50.
Oh, I guess I'm going first.
It'll be Hart, Weber, and Winters. And I'm going to just check just to be sure on how fast the things that are down here with you go. Yeah, they're going to go first. So one of them on their action is going to turn to you, Elliot, and it's going to surge forward. So, have you ever been jumped at by an angry raccoon?
I am a scholar of the great outdoors. And by that, I mean the movie with John Candy, The Great Outdoors.
Yeah, so this creature, and I say creature because clearly it's not a raccoon, when it turns to you and looks you in the eye with a humanoid face. And there's intelligence behind those eyes. And a pleasant little furry body, which is pretty disturbing. And it brings its clawed little fingers up and it runs at you and is going to dive forward towards you. And it's going to make a bite attack. You are allowed to defend and attack and counterattacks using a melee weapon, which I'm going to declare that shotgun is totally a melee weapon. So if you would like to fight back.
I would like to fight back. Of course. Rolled a 92 over 60.
Okay, so you're going to miss, but it misses you as well. So it dives past you. You swing, right? Doing your best Mark McGuire impression. And you fail to connect. Weber and Hart, this thing lands between the two of you. So that's just sort of food for thought. Food being the operative term. And so, Hart, you're going to go next.
I'm going to undo the rope so I'm not like yanking people.
I was waiting for somebody to stay connected and be like, I'm going to run this way. That'd have been great.
Oh, but they were quick release ropes.
Agent Winters planned ahead.
Because he didn't want to be in a friendship finger trap with us.
Okay. So, friendship finger trap aside.
I'm going to take out my knife and I'm going to... Can I, like, stab down into it?
You mean you can stab down? Yeah, absolutely.
I want to attempt to stab it.
I think you should try that.
Okay. I'm not going to hit anything. I got a 36 over 30.
Okay. So you swing and you miss. One of these creatures that's still surrounding the child here picks up the child by its legs and shakes them rather violently. Has a good old laugh about it. Cackles in the hallway here. The other two have noticed that it has friends. And so those two are going to come down this way. One of them is going to stop by Agent Winters. The other one's going to go straight for you, Dr. Weber. So you all have a friend now.
Yay.
Okay. Dr. Weber, you're going to get bit.
Ouch.
So you are allowed to dodge if you would like.
Absolutely. It was a 28 under 30.
Yeah, you get snapped at by something that has a human head and a mostly human mouth, except for a rows of sharp teeth. And Elliot, since you've already fought back this round, this third one is going to take its attempt on you, and it misses you with a bite. Okay, so now, Agent Winters, Weber first. Sorry.
Yes. The one that has bit me, I would like to play baseball with it. With my bat. I have Frederick out, and Frederick is in a fighting mood.
Swing away, Meryl.
Oh, okay. 28 under 30. Thank goodness.
Okay, so the damage on that that's D6.
Ooh, okay. Got a big 6 here, boy. 3.
Okay. You hit that one for 3 damage.
Okay.
There's a meaty pop from the baton and that thing's face. Blood sprays through the kaleidoscopic light that's going on here because all the agents with flashlights are all moving around. So now, Agent Winter, if you would.
I'm going straight for the kid. I'm going to snatch the kid out of the air and just grab it and then run back towards the tunnel where we came from. And if that little raccoon doesn't let go, I guess I'll bring it along with me.
Okay. I think that's probably going to be an opposed armed combat roll.
Sounds good. So let's do better than the last. Oh, all right. Roll 20 gave me a 12 under 60.
Okay. The creature did not fare as well. And so you snatch the kid. And to your surprise and likely elation, at least a little bit, when you snatch the kid from this creature's clawed fingers, you recognize the child that you have a hold of. This is Sandra Cohen, one of the kids that you are looking for. 2-year-old Sandra Cohen. And I'll say that you're able to move back to roughly your original position after doing so. Although there are now many, many angry little creatures that are very excited to have their opinions known.
And so as I'm running back, I'll, Heart, this is one of them.
Oh, thank God. I imagine it's not my turn yet, is it?
It is not, no. They're going to get a chance to go before you do. Your dex is what, 16, 17?
14.
Yeah, so they're a little faster than you are in the initiative phase.
Yeah.
And so in doing so, they're going to mob you, Agent Winters, because you have their child. You have dinner for them. And they're not happy at all with you. So the one that you snatched it from is going to head your way directly. The one that was beside you, originally fighting you, is also going to leap on you. And then we'll just add a third one nearby to the mix.
So to the degree that I can, I'm going to try and shield the kid's body. And I think I'm just sweeping out with my free arm as I'm trying to get away from them and sort of bat them off. So however that mechanically works.
Well, the first one misses you. And the second one will connect unless you're going to fight back, which is what it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah, I'll fight back.
So go ahead and give me the fight back roll for that one.
Is a 78 over 60.
Okay. So that's a successful bite. And we'll roll the third one, which is a 73. So that one misses you as well. So you are going to get bit for a single point of damage. Okay. Agent Hart, now it's your turn.
So my friend here has been swarmed by creatures, right? Or at least is moderately surrounded by.
Oh yeah. And to be fair, these are large, somewhat like large furred, sort of raccoon-shaped creatures that have human heads.
I'm gonna pull out my shotgun and just kind of shoot in general.
Okay, I want you to be very careful with that premise of shooting a shotgun in general.
Yeah, like there's not really an easy way to do this.
You could turn and shoot the one that is harassing Dr. Weber. It would give you the cleanest line of fire. You could try to sidestep where you're at right now and try to line up one that is maybe just one of the creatures that's fighting Elliot. The issue here is going to be is that it's a shotgun. There are some concerns there.
So I don't want to shoot Elliot because he's got a fucking kid. But I also don't want him to be, eaten and then have the kid be eaten following that. So I'm probably going to shoot the one that's furthest away from, like, his physical body that's still close to him. So if I can get essentially one of them off or get their attention not on that kid, I'm going to do that. It's going to be the simplest way for me to do it.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be like aiming up. I'm going to be aiming more like down at the ground to whatever one is essentially closest between me and Elliot, so that I can try to hit that one to essentially get their attention, hopefully do some damage to it and not hurt Agent Winters or the kid.
Well, you're asking a whole lot.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay. That's okay. Your concern for Agent Winters is commendable. I like this. This is a bargain. Bargains I enjoy. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and make me the commensurate firearms roll that you'll need to make. I'm going to give you a 20% skill bonus to this. And the reason why is because you're effectively firing the shotgun point blank. You're turning and firing. That said, don't miss.
So does that mean that I take 20% off?
No, you increase your skill by 20%.
That helps a lot because I got an 18 under 60.
That's a good roll. Okay. So something happens that even Hawking will hear. There is the pretty distinct sound of a pump shotgun being racked and then a round being fired.
I want to run towards that sound.
Okay. Duly noted. You should have the damage for the shotgun.
The shotgun is 2d6. 9.
Okay. I'll say that you're dealing 9 damage to this one. I'm going to have it make a constitution roll. That's pretty reasonable. Which it passes. Okay. You blast this thing, and it goes careening a few feet back and hits the wall. Blood sprays all over you, Elliot, all over the cavern walls, but it's definitely a successful hit. And then Dr. Weber, I'm going to bite you. You can dodge or fight back, your choice. You have the baton in hand, so fighting back is totally an option.
Yeah, no, I will be fighting back. I will be rolling a 15 under 30.
Ooh, very good. So that's a successful fight back in this case. So you connect the baton with this creature's mouth, and it gnaws, it clamps down on the baton and sort of gives you this fierce growl, and it shakes the baton back and forth. And then it's your action, Dr. Weber.
Did you need damage for my baton for the fight back?
Yes.
Okay, it was 4.
Okay.
Is it still kicking?
Oh, yeah.
This little fuck. I'm like beating it. It's biting my baton. I'll start like just the butt of the baton, trying to like bash its skull that way. Not baseball style, but we're getting some more like jabby swings in.
I'm down with jabby swings.
Sweet. We'll see if my lucky dice are. They're not. It's a 48 over 30.
Okay.
I flew too close to the sun.
You did, Icarus. I'm going to fight back.
Okay. Bring it on.
I will. Oh, yep. I totally bite you. Oh, take 3 points of damage. So you swing and try to butt this thing on top of the head to end it. And it ducks under your swing and then bites onto your forearm. And when it bites in, it feels like you've been bit a few times by animals. The parrots, obviously, like that's going to happen. The birds. This feels like that in a way, except the sort of not only the pain, but also the just concerning part of this is that you feel molars like on the back. Yeah. And there's like a little wriggly tongue on your forearm. And then you feel blood and pain and
Yeah, don't like that.
So at the end, near the end of the round, is when Winters goes. Elliot, your partner, Agent Hart, with that shotgun, peeled one of those bastards off you. And now you feel like you got a fighting chance, at least a little bit.
And is there still one, at least one sort of, there's two sort of just on me.
Yeah.
So I've got the kid in one arm, my left arm, and I'm still sort of trying to shield her and trying to make sure she's somewhat protected. I'm going to pull out the P226 that's in the holster. I'm going to shove it into whatever one of these raccoons is close. I'm just going to pull that trigger bam, 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 bam as many times as I can.
Okay. Yeah, there's no dodge for it, obviously, as it's a firearms. And given that you're at point blank range, 3 meters or less, you're going to get 20% to your skill as an added bonus.
So that was a 64, but with my 20% bonus, that's a 64 under 70.
Ooh. Very nice. Roll damage for me, sir.
I think that's a 1d10. 2. 2 points of damage.
Ooh. You fire and do 2 points of damage. All right. So things have changed up a little bit. For you, Agent Hawking, now beyond the gunfire, there's pistol fire too. And you can hear all these strange noises. So you have totally fled your space and you are running headlong. And now, as you get the far side of this room, you see that there is a mouth tunnel. This strange circular tunnel. And you see flashes of light bouncing off the walls. And so you are heading in. You'll arrive next round. At the top of the round, though, we have to resolve a few things. Agent Hart, the creature you shot gets up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And it launches itself at you in this desperate attempt to rend your flesh. And so it is rushing you and will attempt to bite you. You have a shotgun in hand, which means you could technically fight back if you wanted to. With the shotgun as a melee weapon, that I will leave that decision up to you. It will hit you.
I'm going to go ahead and try and dodge.
Okay.
Which is a 12 under 30.
Okay. I have an 11, which is a critical success for me, so I will not be I will not be dodged from.
No.
And you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Oh, man. I made it mad.
Yeah, you did. This ugly little furry raccoon thing with a human head and a human bite palette, it seems, clamps down on your clavicle and then runs up towards your shoulder and is trying to essentially eat you.
Cool.
Elliot, the creature you shot, it sort of landed back against the tunnel wall. It stands up almost incredulous and it stares you in the face. And when it does so, you'll make me a power roll.
Read it and weep. 5 under 65.
Okay. So you beat me, but I rolled a 7. So just FYI.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
You feel like your feet momentarily become made of cement, and you don't feel like you have complete control over your body. And Sandra's form sort of begins to slip from your grasp, and then you remember that you've got to get the fuck out of this place. And you grab her tightly again and wrench yourself free from whatever the hell this thing tried to do to you. The other one that's on you, though, is going to gnaw at your ankle. Because it hadn't stopped either.
That's rude.
Man, these guys hate y'all. So, dodge, fight back, your choice.
I will continue to fight back. I will kick out that foot that it's trying to gnaw on. And I will get 20 under 60.
That is a good roll. It's not enough to beat me, though. So you get chewed on for another point of damage. We'll say that it's right hamstring. You can definitely feel the blood. If only they would attack you where you're armored, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot all about the body armor.
I didn't.
That covers the torso.
Correct. Okay. So we'll move to Agent Hart, who is in a pickle.
So it's chomping on my neck, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to, try to shoot it off of my neck. And I'm not going to use a giant Bowie knife and try to stab myself in the neck. So I'm actually going to, just drag its body back a little bit and bite it back.
Okay, so let me talk to you about this really quick.
It started it.
In most cases, the human mouth is not fully prepared to actually deal damage That's not how our mouths are made. And so
that's true.
I'm totally willing to let you go down this path. I just want to know, I want you to understand that the dental bill afterwards will be more than your coverage can hold within a calendar year. So the deductible is going to be a bitch. I'm happy to let you do it. If you want to do it, do it.
Does that fall under unarmed combat?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm armed with teeth.
Absolutely. It's unarmed combat. Roll it. Let's see how...
I rolled a 22 under 40.
Okay. So I'll say that a normal bite from a person when they're actually trying to bite and do damage would be maybe a point of damage. Does that seem reasonable? So since it's a critical, I'll double it and I'll let you do 2 points of damage. But I want you to also make a sanity roll.
That seems fair.
Oh, yeah.
My sanity's still okay. No, it's not. No. I rolled an 88 over 52.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that you're going to lose a D3 sanity. You're going to lose 2 points of sanity as you become something of barbaric legend. You grab a hold of this thing and you bite down as hard as you can through the fur and the tissue and the sinew. And you don't bite to rip out because you don't know that sort of life. You just bite down as hard as you possibly can. And you don't stop biting until you hear the crack of the windpipe and the small flesh and all of those ligaments. And the sand loss comes from the fact that it's dead. You killed it. Its blood coats your mouth and that body armor that you wear now. And you don't know what happened to your life.
How did we get here?
You're not sure, but the blood tastes good.
Oh, no. I don't like that either.
Agent Weber.
Yes. Do I witness Heart going rabid?
Oh, 100%.
I fear that I'm going to have to put her down next. But first, I must deal with... I didn't know rabies acted that fast. Holy shit. First, I have to deal with this raccoon that's on me, correct? Still there. Oh my god, I hate this thing.
It bit you.
Yeah, now I might have rabies because Heart has rabies. And now I could have rabies. My heart's starting to beat a little bit faster. I have to kill this thing, and then I have to take at least part of it back. And then they'll test it for rabies, and then they'll tell me if I have rabies or not, or like maybe I get the shots. I don't know. Maybe I've already had the bird. I've never had the shot. I don't think birds have rabies. And so I need to kill this thing so that I can, because you're supposed to take the dead thing in to find out if it has rabies. And so that's a PSA. And so that's what I'm going to try to do is kill it so that I can take it. Beat it with my baton. Just absolutely crush its skull in.
Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick. The baton.
Go for it.
Okay. Don't fail me now, Freddy. I'm so worried about the rabies. And it's really thrown me off. It's thrown me so off. It's thrown me 3 zeros.
Oh, ooh, fun. So that's a critical failure.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 100. And unlike some games on the old ways, there are no hands of fate to save you. It's just seeing the scene as it were. You're not really close enough to anyone to affect them with that swing. So there's no concern that Sandra is going to get pummeled to death by a baton. There's no concern. There's no concern that Agent Hart, who clearly is having a case of the Mondays, is going to be affected by it either. No, not at all. What I'm going to do with that fumble is I am going to deal you a point of damage. And I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what it's like when someone tears their ACL?
No, I've never done that before.
So the ligaments that are around your knee are very, very important. And when you overextend them and strain them, there are tears in the meniscus. And what happens is that there is a pop of that ligament that you hear because it is obviously stretched. When you overexert yourself, Dr. Weber, you hear a pop in your right knee, and there is an excruciating amount of pain suddenly, and you fall over onto the tunnel floor. Can't wait to see that next round. But that being said, Agent Winters, it's your action. I don't know that you would necessarily gauge that Weber had fallen just yet. You do hear it because obviously she falls over, but being able to do something about it is different. You are a little busy.
And Weber can take care of herself. Hart can take care of herself. This toddler can't take care of herself. I will say, we got a kid. It's time to get back and out, and I will take this kid into some safety. So I'm going to retreat back further up the tunnel that we came and start running. Is there still one of these bastards like attached to me? The one I shot sounds like he moved off a little bit. Is there still another one?
Yeah, there's a second one that's actually attached to you. And if you attempt to, what is quote unquote escaping, you're not really going to be able to do it with that thing sitting on you.
So I'm going to try and sort of shuffle back, but I'll do the same move. Gun straight up into this raccoon's body and squeezing the trigger.
Again, you're point blank, so I'll give you your 20.
Let's see what happens this time. Even the 20 can't save. 83 over 70.
All right, you try to get clear by clearing one of these things off of you, and it's just too fast. It moves too fast. But that being said, there is another light coming into the tunnel from the opposite way. It's a flashlight. It's an amber flashlight. Agent Hawking, at the top of the round, you approach this scene. You've been hustling now, trying to get across the, we'll just call it the boneyard, for a little bit, and you are now beset upon this scene. So from your angle, you're going to come across one of these nasty little creatures that has, for all intents and purposes, a big shotgun hole in it. It's lying on the ground near Agent Hart, who's covered in blood from essentially the upper lip down. She's a wild look in her eye. You see Agent Winters desperately trying to shake loose from a couple of these creatures. He has a tiny little child in his arm. And Weber, beyond them, lays face down on the ground. And you can see that she's bleeding. And there is one of these nasty little creatures that looks like it's going to jump on the back of her head rather shortly. I will go ahead and bless you with an action before we get into this next round.
Yeah, can I check on Agent Hart? Because she does not look okay. Can I make sure she's not injured and see if she'll let me touch to check her pulse?
Oh, she's very much animated. She definitely has a pulse. Hart is definitely aware. Weber might be a slightly more concerning subject. And it's clear that Agent Winters has his hands full.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Jeez.
I want to go try to help Weber. What's the situation with Weber again?
She's face down in the mud, and it looks like one of these creatures is about to avail themselves of her open neck.
And she's clutching one of her legs, her knee.
Yeah, let's go fucking punt that shit to get a knee to its center mass.
So that's unarmed combat?
Yeah, let's take a look at what that's like. I rolled a 16 under 40. That thing just took a knee to some bones and guts.
I'm going to attempt to dodge. It's going to get an attempt anyway. It does not get out of the way of that.
Yeah, I don't.
Roll unarmed damage. It's probably a D3.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, you roll a 3. You punt this thing. There is a satisfying crunch when it lands against the tunnel wall.
Yeah, that does.
And so now at the top of the round, the remaining 2 are going to try to kill Agent Winters, because they're the only ones left. Winters, you are looking at a series of unarmed combat rolls against you.
I think I'm fighting back. I don't know. That's what I know how to do. So I will fight back, at least against the first one.
Okay.
It's a 47 under 60.
Can roll damage because it rolled a 78.
And unearned damage, what is that, 1d3? It's a single point of flailing kick damage.
Yep. Let's see how the second one fares. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so that's a 90, so it definitely misses you on its attack. That's the one you shot that tried to do something strange to your brain. This one fails as it jumps for Sandra. Like it tries to pluck Sandra out of your hands.
And I just do a little bit of a twirl and it sails past me.
Agent Hart, I would like you to make me a Constitution roll.
Okay. Wow. That's an 84 under 85. Cow.
You're a very strong little person. You're staunch. Maybe that's why you're going to hopefully survive.
Oh, no. Apparently, you should not be drinking the blood of your enemies.
So I'm going to take 4 points of willpower from you.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's temporary. It'll come back, should you live long enough. You feel physically drained, but it's your action.
Is there still one of these things on Winter's body?
Yeah, there's two of them directly engaged with him. The one isn't on his body. He's basically fending the both of them off as they're trying to grab at the kid or try to bite him. The three of them are sort of frenzying around in this little space.
Kill them!
I'm going to be going after the one that more... Because he has one on his leg, right?
Yeah, he has one that he kicked just briefly. And then he had one on the other side of him that he shot.
Is it near his legs or on his leg?
It's near his leg.
Okay. I'm just going to walk up and shoot that one.
You can walk up and shoot it. What you'd really like to do is get a hold of it and bite it.
Oh, okay. So do I make an unarmed combat roll to grab it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 2 out of 40.
That's very good. I rolled a... Not high enough.
Not.
It's not high enough. Okay, so go ahead and roll me a D3.
Okay. I realize this is going to become a trend, me just biting the shit out of stuff, but all right. That's a 3.
Okay. Elliot, you watch Agent Hart come over and grab this thing by the shoulders, and she sort of cocks its head to the side, and she bites onto its neck. It makes this sound like, ah! Like utter disbelief.
Oh, thank God, Hart. What are you doing?
You just hear my teeth like sink into the flesh of this thing. There's no acknowledgement whatsoever.
Dr. Weber, you are in pain, but you have been saved by one Brett Hawking.
Oh, holy shit! Thanks, thanks, Hockey. We gotta. And Weber's like clutching her leg, trying to climb up Brett to get standing back up.
You get back up. It's tough. You're in pain. It's hard to put any weight on that right leg.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Just get me, and I'm holding a baton. Just get me and Frederick closer. Where? And I'm looking around for the nearest. Is there still one on Winters?
Oh yeah, it's worse than that though. There's one on Winters, and it looks like Hart is eating another one of them.
We already discussed the rabies as being the reason that I am so distressed. God, this does not bode well. Brett, we gotta grab one of these. Brett, go help Winters. I can't. And I'm like, I don't know, just trying to get any weight on my leg and failing. And
yeah, Brett, what are you up to?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go chase down the Winters and see if I can save his butt.
Oh, you don't have to chase very far. You turn, you whirl. You whirl. You see Agent Winters with a small young child in one arm trying to fend off from one of these creatures. Right next to him is Agent Hart, who has grabbed one of them and is currently biting it on the neck.
That's new. Okay. Yeah, so if this thing is not shootable, then I'm gonna go into melee.
It's shootable.
Okay, then yeah. I mean, I have my gun in my hand, so that's
Yes.
fine.
A very
Yeah.
simple movement to point blank range and be done.
Execution style. All right.
So it'll put you up 20 for the attack.
Oh, well, okay. So then in that case, I rolled a 20 under 90 then.
So roll what, a D10?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's roll a D10. 5. I'll take it. That's a solid number. That's a prime number.
I'll take 5 as well. And you'll drop this thing into the dirt.
Blam. I'll say blam.
We're not out of rounds yet.
Hart has her lunch.
Oh, her lunch is going to bite back. It turns quicker than you could possibly imagine, Hart. And it's going to bite you back. You, of course, can dodge or fight back, your choice. This is the start of a new round. I rolled a 66, which isn't very good for this creature.
Especially since I'm just going to chomp further into it.
If you're fighting back,
that's what I'd be doing, is I'd just be chomping further into it. That's okay. I didn't do very well either. I also got a 66.
Okay, so the two of you sort of flail at one another, gnashing teeth and, claws and then human hands. It's ugly, it's bloody, and no one wins. At which point, because the way rounds work, it will fall to your action.
I mean, considering that I felt compelled to just pick the little bastard up and bite it anyway, I guess I know what I'm doing. Oh, that's much better. That is a 31 under 40.
It's going to try to dodge because it thinks you're psycho, which is saying something. Are you kidding me? It's a 99. Okay, so it does not dodge at all. It tries to dodge, and you grab it quicker than it was expecting. And you latch onto it and bite it. Roll a D3.
2.
Okay, very good. It falls over dead. Lose another point of sanity. We're out of rounds. We're out of a lot of other things. We're also out of time. I'm going to leave us right here for our audience with one Agent Joanne Hart coated in blood from extra-dimensional creatures, with Agent Winters having successfully rescued Sandra Cohen all the while trying to get bit to death. We'll leave Aaron Weber in a heap, given her ACL injury. And Agent Hawking, you're going to have to figure out how the fuck this pieces all together, but not until next time. So thank you all for joining us, and good night.